For question 23, we're told that we have 3 consecutive positive odd numbers. 5 times the square of the middle integer exceeds the product of the other two by 488. We're told to use an algebraic method and not to use trial and improvement. So this is quite a complicated question, but we can break it down by having some control of the question by choosing what these numbers are. So if there are going to be 3 consecutive positive odd numbers, then we can just choose the first one and we can call it x. So the first one is x, and the second one is the next odd number. It must be x plus 2, and then the next one must be x plus 4. So if you imagine that's like 1, 3, and 5, then those are going to be the numbers. So these are our 3 numbers. What we want to do is we want to read the question carefully, we work out an equation that we can set up, and then we will be able to solve it to find out x, and then find out what the 3 numbers are. So it tells us that 5 times the square of the middle integer. Okay, so we've got 5 times the square of the middle one, so we've got 5 times x plus 2 squared, exceeds the product of the other two by 488. So the product of the other two will be x upon x plus 4. If this first one exceeds the second one by 488, then we can say the first one minus the second one is equal to 488. What we want to do now is we then want to start to expand so that we have then an equation that we can solve. So we're going to have 5 upon x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus x squared minus 4x is equal to 488. So 5x squared plus 20x plus 20 minus x squared minus 4x minus 488 is then equal to 0. So as you can see, this is going to start to turn into a quadratic once we go through the process and once we solve it. So 5x squared minus the x squared will give us 4x squared. Then plus 20x minus 4x will give us plus 16x. Then the plus 20 minus the 488 will then give us minus 468, and then that's equal to 0. So it's a calculator paper, so by all means start to use your calculator to see if you can break this down. You should be able to see that you can divide everything by 4, which will make it easier for you. So you'll have x squared plus 4x minus 117, and then that's equal to 0. Once we've got that, we'll be able to look for numbers that multiply to give minus 117, but add to give 4. If you don't see those numbers straight away, then use the formula. That's completely fine until you get what your values of x are. If you see the formula, then you will see that it'll be x plus 13 upon x minus 9, and you can say that that is equal to 0. Therefore, x is minus 13, x equals 9. But if we think about the context of the question, we're told that these are 3 consecutive positive odd numbers. Since this x equals minus 13 is negative, that cannot be one of our numbers, so it's impossible. So then our 3 numbers will be 9, 11, and 13.